Hey guys, it's Nomi here. Welcome back to my April bullet journal layout. I recently started watching Voltron on Netflix and decided that's what this month's theme will be, so let's get right into it. Starting off on the first week, I did a simple hang picture frame design. I inked in the frames using my Sharpie fine point pen and wrote in the dates with my Pigma Micron 03 pen. Since the first week only has 4 days, I left a lot of space towards the bottom of the page, so I decided to take an old Polaroid that I had and glued a Team Voltron photo over it. Then I glued the Polaroid onto the bullet journal page. Moving on to the next week, I decided to draw each character chibi style with my Sharpie fine point pen. Like I mentioned earlier, I just started the show, but was really surprised how much I enjoyed it. I'm not the biggest Star Trek or Star Wars fan, but I fell in love with the animation style, the characters, and the script writing. Honestly, first episode, as soon as Keith appeared on the screen, that was it. I knew then that was my favorite character. Anyways, I outlined the boxes using my Tombow N15 and shaded in the chibis with my Tombow N89. For the next week, I went with a full page spread. Voltron takes place in outer space, so I wanted to convey the expanse of space. I decided to try out a new technique using markers to mimic watercolor. First, you need some sort of plastic that's large enough to cover your page surface area. Ziploc bags, plastic covers, or in my case, a clear sheet protector. Next, select the colors you want to use. I went with the red, pink, and orange color theme using my Milk liner highlighters. Color on your plastic and lightly mist it using water in a spray bottle. Then carefully hold your journal over it and press down. You can test it out on separate pieces of paper beforehand to practice. Dab the excess with a paper towel and dry the page using a blow dryer. I found that you may need to do it multiple times in order to get a darker pigment. Then I outlined circles with my Sharpie fine point pen and drew them in with my Le Pen 4100 and my Pigma Micron 03. I wrote out the days of the week with the Sharpie and the dates with my Jelly Roll. Lastly, I decided to draw out some star constellations to fill out some space using acrylic white paint. I dabbed the spots on with a toothpick since I didn't have a small enough paintbrush. I used the same marker watercolor technique on my next week's spread, but with a different color theme. This time, I colored the plastic with a gradient of purple, pink, and dark blue milk liner. I also added a small touch of my Tombow N60 and N65 for a darker tone. Again, I lightly misted the plastic with water and pressed it against my journal. After drying it, I decided to do it again a second time for a more vibrant color. Then I drew in circles again and inked in the castle ship and planets using my Sharpie pen and Pigma Micron 03. I love the different planet designs, especially the one that looks like an apple core. DreamWorks did such a good job redesigning the show, and it's surprisingly binge-worthy, and I almost didn't realize the first episode on Netflix was like an hour long. I did hear a ton of people say that the plot gets worse as the seasons go on, so I guess we'll see. All I know is season 1 is amazing so far. I finished this page off by dotting on stars using a toothpick and white acrylic paint. Alright, on to the next page. I wanted to do an action page split theme, like during one of their team fights. It reminds me of like a Power Rangers Megazord fight. I used a Galaxy Star washi tape to section off the 5 spaces. Then I outlined the characters using my Sharpie pen and wrote in the dates using Crayola markers. Then I shaded each character in using my Tombow N89. For my expenses page, I did a horizontal spread of the lion's cockpit. Using a ruler and my Sharpie pen again, I outlined the different panel screens and drew in little bars, graphs, and Altaian symbols. This was a really fun page to do. DreamWorks actually has a 360 VR video of the view inside the Blue Lion's cockpit, which is what I used to base this page off of. As always, I flip back to do my cover page last. Like I mentioned before, Keith is definitely my favorite character so far, and so I decided to put him on the cover page. I'm going in with my watercolors and dipping my brush in lightly to wet the paper. Since this is a normal dotted journal and not thicker watercolor paper, I don't want to wet it too much and have it crinkle or tear. I'm also avoiding wetting the paper near Keith's outline, so the color doesn't bleed into his silhouette, which I want to keep white. I blend the colors in and blow dry the paper to help it dry faster. Then I sharpen in the line edges with my Tombow 553 and N60. I paint the lion's eyes, nose, and Keith's silhouette in white acrylic. I also dot in stars, varying in size and length. And finally, I inked in the month using my Tombow N15 and also ink in the dates using my Sharpie pen. And that's it for my April theme. I hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, thanks so much for watching, and remember to hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more. I'll see you guys next month.